Well, good afternoon everybody, welcome back to Oakfield Farm, and welcome more importantly to Simulation for the Nation. I hope you're all doing very well today. We have got what could promise to be quite an interesting day ahead today. The sun is out, we have had a little bit of dry weather, finally, although it's due to rain this afternoon I think a little bit. But we are going to try and just drill in some cover crop into a grass field of ours. So we're not going to, the grass has been sprayed off, so there's very little vegetation actually there, but what we are wanting to do and what we're going to see is how this cultivator direct drill combo works for establishing grass seeds, because we don't want to do any deep cultivation. We're going to try and leave the soil as intact as it is and keep the soil structure there. So we're just going to scratch the surface really, and then we are going to drill in the cover crop of oil radish, and we'll leave that to see how it grows over the summer, with the hope that we can then, you know, fix the nitrogen levels in there, get it to a nice satisfactory level, and be able to drill our winter crops come kind of August, I imagine. We'll probably put some spring barley in, or some winter barley into there. So at the moment David's out in his John Deere here. He didn't put his lights on, which was annoying, but never mind. John Deere does pay. There we go. So we're going to head on up the hill. As for those of you who may remember, field 46 is actually just up here on the right hand side. First time out for the John Deere with this cultivator on the back of it, so it should make light work of it, but it'll be interesting to see how it fares up. And, the oil radishes should grow through. It doesn't take much actually for those things to come through there, so it'll be very interesting to see how it works. Then after that we've got a very special invitation today. Actually, we're going to go and have a look at something really quite interesting. So that'll be that kicks off in about an hour or so, I think. So we've got a few little chores we're going to do around here, and then we'll see how it all goes from there. But as you can see, yeah, it's a nice day. There's not a lot of grass growing at the moment. It's not quite warm enough for that to occur, but it is just generally quite nice weather at the moment, and I thought we'd get this, at least try this and get it done now before we need to put the spinner and the sprayer onto this John Deere, and that'll be done for a while. Okay, so we're just going to whip it into here, and I might just leave the pickup here actually. Alright, and folks, just going to shut this gate so David can get round that when he needs to. So as you can see, this grass field has very little in the bottom of it, next to no growth on here at all, so there's not much vegetation left there to have to worry about. David seems to be getting on quite fine, so we'll just have a quick look, see how it's turning everything over. Seems to have got that all set up nice and level at least. The harrow is working well. Tines on the front are kind of just skimming off the surface, scratching it over, and then the discs and the packer roller on the back really just bed that back in. And cover over any of the seed that's been drilled. So yeah, looking all very good. I don't know what he's quite been doing at the top end here, but getting himself his GPS lined up, I would assume. But yes, we'll be leaving this now. Like I say, we'll get this drilled in. We should get this finished today, all being well, and then we will be able to leave this and let it grow up through the rest of the spring, summer. The horseradish, or oil radish, beg your pardon, has a couple of good factors. It has a long root system which allows for the compaction of the ground to be broken up. So we've been running over this field quite a bit, particularly last year when we took a lot of silage off here, so there's a lot of compaction there, and uneven compaction from the wheelings of the machines. So the oil radish roots drill down into the soil, and then they break up all that compaction, particularly up here where it's a little bit heavier, the grounds are a little bit harder, so we need to break that up. On top of that, the other great aspect is the plant has such a broad leaf which captures a lot of sunlight and can transfer that into nitrogen. So it fixates the nitrogen within the soil as well, which means that when we come to drill our barley in the summer, late summer there, it's going to go into a very fertile, very strong ground. It will be direct drilled as well. We won't be coming in and doing any heavy cultivations up here. Same can be said for the field that we had beans in just over the hedge there. That'll be nice and light as well. So all being well, we should get these kind of in the not too well, into a good bed, really, into a good stable structure, which is important these days. We're trying to find ways where we can minimise our input costs and maximise our output. And I do believe that minimum tillage, zero tillage options are the future. So we're not diving straight into zero till. We're going for a minimum till approach first where possible. We do still have to plough every few years. Kind of each field will get ploughed over about every once in 4 years at the moment. But that's something we're looking at to see if we need to continue. But for now, because we're gaining on more land, we will be continuing to plough as well. But overall, very happy with how this is coming in here, looking very promising. David's off to a great start there, so we're going to leave him to it and get back on our way. So as I mentioned there, we've got a few different things we've got to do today. Our new rollers are at the yard now, so I need to go and have a look at those and hitch them off the back of the New Holland I brought them up on. So we'll put those away in the shed for now and then just kind of show you what we've got. And then, like I say, yeah, we're going to an exhibition day held by Charlie and his dealership. So there's a couple of different brands on there. It's kind of a cultivation expo, really, with a few different things involved. So that should be quite interesting to see. But we need to go back to the yard and just get everything finished up first. And then, all being well, if it stays dry, we can probably get some more spring field work done over the next few days and into the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, if it stays dry, we need to start spreading some fertilizer to get this ground kicking on. And we've also got a couple of fields we need to drill. We've got the 2 fields that were spring wheat at the top, which need to be finished off, just kind of north of the farm. But we also ideally would like to spread some muck onto there as well, I do believe. And there's a tractor. Is that turned into here? Yes, it is. Okay. That's a nice little fence. Okay, well, we'll make our way back on over to the yard there and get ourselves kind of sorted out and organised for the rest of the day. Okay, I'm going to spin the truck in here because we're not going to be here for too long, actually. Like I say, we do need to get our hurry on. But here it is. We've gone big with the rollers. These are our Luma 3 12-meter rollers. They are monstrous. They're not plugged into the New Holland, it's just kind of hitched up at the moment. But yeah, these are much bigger than what we were using and should kind of really help our output here in no end. So that's great news. For the size, for the scale of the machine, they're really not actually that expensive. We are able to, when we lower these down here, these little scoops are for us to be able to collect big boulders that are in the way. They're hydraulic, we can use those on the spools. We are able to adjust the pressures of the rollers on the ground, so we can, if we're working on some harder ground, for example, we can put a little bit more pressure on to break up any of the kind of boulders in there. We can also reduce the pressure if we're on nice soft ground as well, which is quite good. Nice wide flotation tyres, so that when we are travelling through the field, we're not making too much of a mess. Yeah, so really happy with these. What we are going to do, though, as I mentioned, is just going to pop them away. Now, first of all, we need to find another shed that's kind of sufficient space, but is also big enough, really, because these are quite long. Now, if I have a look in here quickly, I think we might have space, but we might be getting a little bit full. This is kind of our cultivation shed as it stands anyway. Yeah, we can get them into here. He says. So how you all doing? I hope you're all very well today. This is Sunday as we record this, so I hope you are doing very well and having a lovely weekend, whatever you're getting up to. Do let me know down below if you are on Oakfield, what you're getting into on Oakfield especially. Ooh, there we go. And I think, let me just roll this forward a touch. I think we're just going to go straight back next to the drill there. Oh, fence in the way. There we go, and square that up a touch. Lovely. And then we'll straighten up the tractor and we should be good. One thing we do know is the back wheels there are pretty much as the farthest point away from the tractor, so leave it there. That's good for us. Have a look, see. Yeah, that's fine. That back roller as well. Alright, excellent. So we're going to park this New Holland up, and then we can think about getting out of here. I'll stick this straight forward into the shed here. Excellent. Alright, so I'm going to finish up just a few jobs here, shut some doors, close a few things down, and then we'll get ourselves in the truck and go and have a look at some new shiny equipment. Okay folks, took a slight detour on the way up to the exhibition there. I think the deal, Charlie thinks that I'm going there with the intention of buying something, which is, sadly for him, couldn't be far from the truth because I bought this field not so long ago. And therefore I have absolutely no more money to buy any shiny machines with, but I'm going to go along. I believe there's some, like a burger van there, and I'm going to get a cup of coffee and a free burger, and I'm going to see what's going on and maybe have a play in some equipment, but I won't be buying any today because, yeah, we'll be coming up and we'll be drilling into this field very shortly, weather permitting, so just thought I'd show you that one first, and then we're going to jump back into the truck. Look at the view over the valley here as well, actually. Anyway, onwards and upwards, into the truck we go. And we're going to head back down into through the village, really. Past the store, the grain store. And then we're going to head up actually onto the far side of the hills there, beyond where those silos are. A straight line directly across. There we go, it's looking a bit more promising there. What have we got here? Oh, we've got quite a little, quite an array of equipment. Excellent news. I may have missed the entrance there, but we'll spin in here. Yeah, we'll just park up here. There's not a lot of people here at the moment, but then the weather has not been great this morning, and also it's a little bit fairer now, so people might be staying out in the effort to try and crack on. But there seems, like I said, there seems to be quite a bit of kit here. Oh, that was the big drill I was thinking of as well. That could be interesting to have a look at. I think I'll grab myself some lunch, and then we'll see if Charlie's around here, and we'll have a quick look through what equipment we've got. That was one of the best burgers I've had. I'm not scared to admit that. That was lovely. So we're going to come and look at those sprays in a little while. That's not what I'm focused on, really. They've even brought a 1050 up just for me. Look at that. It's not as nice as mine, but that is lovely. So this is a Condor. This is monstrously big machine. Absolutely magnificent. This is 15 meters. We're currently operating at 8. So this is almost double our output. I can't justify that at the moment, but that would be a fantastic machine to get at some stage. And look at the size of it. It really is quite something. And then we got a New Holland on tracks as well. That's quite impressive. T8 on tracks. With a Horse Tiger, 10 meters again. That monstrous piece of equipment. A couple of big X's here for some reason. Are these a big X? I'm not too sure on my foragers. Yeah, big X 580. One with grass, one with mace header, I assume. Yeah. Wow, they're big. I'll have to see if my contractor wants to get some of those, so speed up my harvest, that's for sure. So we actually just bought a Valstad cultivator recently. This is a beast of a drill. I don't quite know why it's on a quad track. I don't think it needs that much power, but yeah. This is huge. Very impressive. I assume one tank is fertilizer, one tank is seed. Wow, that is a mighty machine. Really, really is. I think this is a cockle-in at the end here. Again, another massive... That's got to be all of, what, 15 meters in width, I would say. What have we got here? Chisel points. A rake and a press. Wow, yeah, that's awesome. Very impressive. Well, I think what's about to happen shortly is they're going to set some of these machines away. They're going to run like a couple of passes up and down the field, I do believe. So that should be quite interesting to see how that happens and what occurs there. Is that the same? Oh, no, that's a 240. So that's quite a bit bigger than the case we had, actually. Nice, nonetheless. So whilst we wait for this demonstration to begin, I'm going to have a quick look at see what we've got up here. Amazon Spreader Special by the looks of things. Now that is the same case as we had. That's a 165. Ours was a 17. A nice Amazon spreader on the back. That's a small, cute little sprayer. Wow, that's a big trailed sprayer. I think that's 30 or 36 meters like mine. Looks about the same width. So this is my argument. I'm not sure why anyone at the moment would, unless you're doing, you know, a couple of 1,000+ hectares, I don't see why you would acquire a self-propelled sprayer such as this when you can get the same output from a trailed sprayer, and then you don't have to buy a huge self-propelled unit. You just stick it on your own tractor. That makes perfect sense to me. I mean, the cost of these things are monstrously big. Absolutely huge. It's like buying another new tractor and a sprayer. I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong. If someone wanted to buy me one, I wouldn't say no by any stretch. Alright then, well, we will go and maybe grab another drink, and we're going to see when the demonstration kicks off. Oh well, folks, I hope that turned out okay. I sent the drone up there to see what I could capture, and I think it's worked out pretty well. But yeah, as you can see, there's a few different passes they've made to kind of test everything out, and it all looks fairly interesting, I have to say. That is a loud New Holland. Good lord, let's get away from that. But ultimately, it was nice just to come up here and have a quick play. I'm going to have a look at all of these tractors now, I think, and some of the equipment on the back is very interesting to me, let's just say that much. Nothing that will come this year, but you never know. It's always good to keep an eye on it. And we will have a play around and see what's up and talk the ear off Charlie for a little bit, I think. And then we'll have to go back and just check up and see how David's doing. Get ready to take the drill out into that new field of ours, I should think. But for now, we will leave it here and have a quick play around. I'm going to leave you looking at this fantastic setup with the Amazon drill. This is magnificent. I really would like to see one of those come in one day, but we'll have to wait and see. But until next time, sorry, we will be back, and we will probably be back with you in a couple of days. But until then, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button and drop a comment down below. Particularly if you're a new subscriber and you enjoyed today's episode, do let me know where you're watching from. As always, I'm always very intrigued to know. We shall try and figure something out to do with that. I always keep saying that, but I'm trying to think of something special. But we will see you in the next one. So do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing, but most importantly, as always, happy farming.